All right, let's get started, everybody. It's great to see such a full room. Lots of head turning, though, but we'll be fine. I hope everybody can see the panelists. Dear guests, dear esteemed panelists, dear people coming from all over Europe, thank you for joining us today for the Angels and Deeptech session for the ESIL program. It's really fantastic to have you here. Thank you to the European Commission for hosting us today and tomorrow. And it's really great indeed to see so many of your colleagues here, all of whom we hope are better informed about the important role of angel investing in deep tech by the end of the day. Indeed, today we'll discuss how together we can catalyze Europe's innovation system. Or in more specific words, how we can make sure that more deep tech teams and business angels are working side by side in the earliest stages. We want both business angels and deep tech startups to choose Europe. And this is what we're all about today. It speaks to one of the core goals of the ESIL program, which brought us all together here, building a next generation of business angels, whether in geography, in gender, but again, also specifically deep tech instead of software as a service, for example. And this is all supported by a core assumption of all consortium partners of the ESIL program, Meta Group, Business Angels Europe, and Bpifrance Equity, that angel investing and especially their networks are the core infrastructure for innovation in Europe, making sure that on the earliest stages, deep tech researchers are supported by experienced mentors and their capital, of course, to start this relay race that the innovation journey is. So breaking new ground takes energy, and that's what we have been doing with the ESIL program. We worked very hard in the last 2 years together with you, Nuno, to make sure this program is a success. And this is also a celebration of that. We look back on what we achieved and we look forward to what we can still do together. My name is Jan Debets. I'm Senior Advisor and previous Manager of Business Angels Europe. I will be Master of Ceremony today, more Master of Timekeeping. I will make sure the panelists will stick to their time. We have 3 panels until 6 o'clock, after which we have a network cocktail. Unlike tomorrow, this will all take place in this room, so no excuse not to stay and to exchange. And yes, without further ado, let's start with our first panel. Denise Perrin, Head of Unit at the EIC. Thank you so much for having us. Thank you for coming. The floor is yours, and after which Luigi Amati, Director of Meta Group. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Jan, for the floor. It's really my biggest pleasure to welcome you all here. Business angels, colleagues, partners, network that is here actually sharing the common objective that Jan already mentioned, which is to choose Europe. And I'm really pleased that we are here together. And we are already during this very busy period at the end of the year where all of us have so much to do. And we really found time to a bit pause down and to see what we can do together and how we can continue actually working together in making really the companies, the deep tech companies thrive. And they cannot do it without business angels. And that's why we all need to meet here. We all need to really spend time together again and see what we can do even further to make sure that the companies really go naturally for Europe and they choose Europe without really hesitating, because they have foundations, they have the business angels, they have the tools that are here, and they have actually the environment that doesn't even make them hesitate to leave Europe. So this is something I'm proud that we are building this together, because without business angels, our early stage companies wouldn't be able to strive in Europe, to be in Europe, and we would not find so many strong companies in the accelerator and in the EIC, because the EIC is very much related. We are partners with the business angels, with business associations, And this is exactly what I see with our companies, that usually those who are successful, those who are strong, those who are able to find co-investors, they actually have strong experience and good experience with business angels. And we have really the business angels playing a catalyzing role in their development, in their early stage, in building their teams. And what we can do also on our side for the companies, and I know you're very familiar with the EIC, but maybe let's start and take a few minutes a bit to see what really Europe is doing for the companies to really make them say, I'm choosing Europe, I'm confident, I'm doing it, and I really want to have European investors and European institutional investors in my ownership structure. So this is my pleasure to share with you here. So what we are doing in EIC and why we are having EIC. Actually, I know you know it, but let's take maybe, it's a moment a bit to, it's the end of the year. It's the moment where we tend to look back a bit and see where we are and take a bit, how to say, time also to recognize what has happened, what we have achieved. And I think we can be proud. And for EIC, I'm especially proud because when we started as a pilot in 2019, many business angels, VCs, and also public institutions were looking at us like, you really want to do it with from the public side? Do you think it makes sense? We believed that yes, and we could also afford to trust that we can do it because we had the ecosystem and we had the partners behind us, like business angels, because we really recognize the need that we need to find a way at European level how to support the companies to further scale up. Once you business angels, you invested or you want to go ahead. So we need to find ways how to really help the companies to go over the first valley of death. It's really to bring the companies from the labs, from their ideas, from their first stage financing to really to the market, to be companies that say, okay, I'm really there. I can come to the market, I can scale up, and I'm really confident. Of course, this is not so easy, and many thanks for colleagues who helped me to prepare also the presentation, bringing a bit going from the usual away from the usual commission presentation a bit to a bit in more a relaxed way to see. Actually, what we are doing, it's not only about money. It's about recognition. It's about smart money that we are bringing to the companies. I mean, in general, in EIC, we are technology-wise agnostic, and we accompany the companies during their entire innovation journey. So when we are starting with EIC, we are starting with Pathfinder at lower tier levels with consortia, really looking into the labs, what the ideas there are, and whether some of the ideas are really, there is a capacity, willingness, and eagerness of the consortia consortia from researchers, but also from the companies and multinationals, to bring a bit them out of the lab, to test whether it would be worth actually looking also for business angels, preparing commercial plans, ideas, looking at how to deal with the IP and to commercialize. This is also what is done in the transition. So this is really when you look at the innovation path. And then we take over from the EIC accelerator. We have a bit a new kid on the block who squeezed in the yellow one. I will come back to that later at the end of my presentation. But in the accelerator, we are really taking up the companies that finished a bit their tier 5 and are ready to scale up, but still have difficulties to find investors. They need also a part of grant to be able to sort down their teams, their IP, their cap tables in general, and to see how they can fundraise. What is important and what makes the EIC and EIC Accelerator different and unique in Europe is the combination of grant and equity. There is no other instrument that is providing this. So, and together accompanied with smart money, so business acceleration services, coaching, relationship, bringing companies to the co-investors and linking them with the co-investors. So this is something I'm very proud of, especially, when I started in my introduction, when I was telling you that in 2019, we were we were doubted and seen by investors like, are you really sure you want to do so? Now, many investors and many companies are telling us and telling their companies, oh, it would be better you first go through the EIC accelerator. Once you succeed, we can talk about whether we want to invest or not. So we, in few years' time, we really became the reference for deep tech financing in Europe. And I'm really, really proud to have in the portfolio actually, or we are holding the largest portfolio in Europe of deep tech companies across the spectrum. So medtech, biotech, quantum, nuclear fusion, advanced computing, AI, clean tech, advanced materials, you name it. So this is something with the size of the portfolio, but also with the quality of the companies and the technologies they are bringing to the market. I think we became the key actor. But again, the recognition of the role and the common project we are having together with all our partners and including the business angels, it would have not been possible. And we even could afford going further there because the second valley of death is there. The companies still, especially in Europe, have huge issues finding financing for real scale up to be able to set up major funding rounds starting, let's say, 50 million. And I'm proud that we were entrusted this year to implement a strategic technology Europe platform, the STEP call, where we were able to select around 20 very competitive companies that are really ready to scale up in Europe and where we can provide them larger scale equity funding. And what is the yellow pre-accelerator doing there? Jan, when he was doing the presentation, you mentioned something that what is important is to also look at gender geography. And here we are looking at the geography because here we are very competitive. So we are in a situation where the strongest countries, strongest companies tend to prevail as successful candidates. And we have what we call widening countries. So countries that, majority of the countries that join the European Union after the 2004 enlargement, they tend to lag behind. They tend to lag behind for various reasons. And here I really also count on your support and where I see that the building of the conducive environment is essential because we see that they don't have, not in every country, we don't have so strong players like in France or in Netherlands, and the networks of business angels, they are lacking there. And for this reason, we created what we call EIC pre-accelerator. So this is a bit a lighter accelerator that provides smaller amount of subsidies. It's grant only to really be able to go to fish for the companies with the potential to succeed later on in the EIC accelerator, really to build a pipeline. This is for the yellow one. And it confirms that we have a huge interest. We just closed the first call. We have 20 million for the first call. We expected to get around 400 applications. And 2 weeks ago, when we closed the call, we got over 1,000 applications. We still need to see how many of them are eligible or fit for purpose, but you really see the interest and the potential also. And I think for Europe and for Choose Europe, it's very important that we make sure that, I mean, we don't leave behind the potential to innovate that is in every country. And it's something that is that economically and socially we cannot afford. So here we have for 2026 what is happening. You know that every year we are looking a bit at emerging technologies and selecting new challenges. For 26, we have quite interesting challenges. There are 5. So we have advanced materials for energy. We have alternative concepts for fusion power, which is very interesting. This is new. With special also funding. We have biotech for agricultural soils. So also recognition on of our European heritage, critical raw materials value chain, and deep tech for climate adaptation. And we will continue with STEP, where we are having the 3 classical STEP priorities, but and I will end with that because I'm sure I'm running out of time. We will be bringing also and modifying the work programs. We will be bringing opening the dual use and defense under step, and under step we will have a fourth priority, which is I guess also aligned with the priorities of in many member states. I will stop with that because I know I'm running late, but it's my pleasure. I hope warm welcome in Brussels. Enjoy the 2 days, and I hope it will be fruitful for you. And happy to continue the discussions with you outside and during the breaks. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Denisa. Thank you very much for setting the scene about Angels and Deeptech. My name is Luigi Amati. I'm the director at Meta Group and also the one that is overseeing the activities of ESIL together with my partners, Reginald Vossen from Business Angels Europe and Gilles Cogan from Euroquity. I won't take much time because I think that we have a very rich agenda, and I will be speaking also tomorrow, so you will hear from me more. I just wanted to say that the main thing about ESIL, and I think that the show up today confirms it, is that we are creating a community, really a community of people that are willing to go deeper into the topic on how Angels and Deeptech teams can work together. We know that Deeptech is, for many aspects, a new topic also for angel investors, so there is a lot of learning to do, and we hope that we will have more and more angels willing to support the effort that the EIC is doing, and we hope that more mentoring and more activities jointly between Deeptech research teams and angels will happen also thanks to ESIL. We have a full 1.5 day, and as Denisa was saying, it's great to see all these people here taking really the time to sit down and talk about content. ESIL, it's, I would say, only about content. We are all practitioners here, so I will encourage, of course, to share our thoughts during the networking. But we start with 2 very interesting panels that will be exploring some areas in which Angels and Deeptech cross each other, with a continuation tomorrow that will be covering the main topics that we are having within ESIL, and with some workshops in the afternoon. So without further delay, I would like to call to the floor, or you will do it, Jan, probably you prepare. So I will let the floor to Jan again, and thank you very much for being here.